Well, good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday, Haley. Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday, Dan.
Haley is riding high this week. She's very excited.
I'm very excited for our last segment this week.
Might as well tell people what it is, and you own all of it because I was very nervous to let you air this topic.
It's the history of toilet paper, basically.
Kind of. It's the history of toilet paper if an eighth grader would do it. And yeah, we're going to talk about that. It's a very funny, interesting thing. I mean, there's so many things in life, so many inventions, let's call them, that, you know, we've got them. We appreciate them. We use these things day in and day out, but we never stop to think about where they came from.
Right, or what we used before.
Right, what happened before. You know, paper, just paper itself. Where did that come from? When did it come about?
Yeah.
And boy, did it change the world when it did.
Right.
Well, so did toilet paper.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny. It's a fun way to end the show. We'll be talking about that. We're also going to be talking more seriously about how we're both kind of hypocrites, but more importantly, the whole idea of the middle part of the show is cutting ourselves and everybody out there some slack.
Yes.
When it comes to projects, we don't always get as much done as we want to get done.
No, and this time of year, you know, it's the summer, and we probably had a whole list of things going into it like we told you to do.
Yep.
And you're probably nowhere close to done with that. So,
well, really, right. So much of social media, of shows like ours,
Yes.
It's all about jumping in, getting projects done.
Do it now.
Honestly, when it works, it's great.
Right.
And it feels like everything's clicking. But sometimes when we can't keep up, we can't produce
It's
like
depressing.
the people are demanding.
Yeah.
Yeah, we feel like we're really missing the boat. Well, we want to tip our hands.
Yeah.
We missed the boat this year. At least I did. Haley got on the boat and fell off partway through.
Yep.
I never even saw the boat. I didn't know it was here. We'll talk about all of that and hopefully give you some hope if you're struggling.
Yes.
And get you moving. It's a fun segment, couple of segments.
Yeah.
I think that'll be great. Right now, let's talk about something that happened at our paint store, one of the RepcoLites, the Byron Center RepcoLite, during our
cookout.
Yeah, recent cookout. We're sitting there giving away T-shirts, doing all kinds of stuff, and I notice a van pull into the driveway with paint dripping out of it.
Yeah, there's like a little trail of paint behind it all the way through the parking lot, and now it's just pooling at the parking spot.
Yeah.
And Dan just bolts into action. He's running over there. You open the guy's door on the passenger side, say, "You've got paint leaking." He jumps into the van and starts going over the seat to clean up the paint or pick it up so it's not going to spill anymore.
I was like some kind of really geeky, nerdy Batman.
Yeah.
I mean, I was all over that trying to help.
Seriously.
And yeah, that's all I could think is the guy's coming to have a lunch and he is going to be so mortified when he sees all this paint.
Yeah.
Is there
It's
a
a
way
real
we can
bummer.
stop it and catch it? And we thought, boy, that's kind of a good topic because I can't think of very many things that are much worse, you know, when it comes to messes than a paint spill.
Right.
And sometimes that happens at home when we're working. Sometimes it happens transporting the paint to the job site or to our home or whatever. And whether you're a contractor, whether you're just homeowner, there's a couple of things you can do to try to be safe.
Yes.
And
I mean,
let's start with what, Haley?
keep the paint on the floor of the car, for one. Like if you've got a gallon of paint, you're leaving the store, you're putting it in the car, don't put it in a spot where it could potentially tip over.
Like
Make
the
sure
seat?
it's on the floor.
And wedged with something.
Exactly.
That's why you bring children. They can sit in the back and you put it between their feet
Yeah.
and they keep it steady.
Yep.
Right? No, but we have had people set it on the back seat.
Yeah.
They'll put it on the back seat in a box, and
Yep.
the box will slide over the seat. The paint slips over. They don't always know that. People tend to think that that lid that's on there is like Fort Knox now.
Right.
It is sealed, and it will not open until I get one of those weird little key tools or a screwdriver and crinkle it open.
Butter knife. Whatever.
Not the case. If it hits and lands just right, most of the time, it's fine. But if it lands and hits just right, that can pop that lid. And yeah, I've had it too at home where I've, pulled the box down and it just slips over and it lands just right and the lid gushes off.
Yep.
And
Or you
instantly.
get the whole box, you're carrying the load of paint into the garage and you set it down too hard. I've had people drop the box just a little bit too hard and those paint can lids just pop right off and you've got paint everywhere now.
Yeah, so definitely
really got to
just
be careful.
Take a little bit of time when you're transporting it. Put it on the floor. Make sure it's braced and secure. Don't set it on the seat where it could slide around.
Or if you've got a truck in the back, don't just put it back there thinking it's going to be fine.
Right.
It's sliding around. It hits a wall and it's going to come open.
Yeah, take some consideration there. Don't trust the boxes all the time. I know our boxes have handles cut in them.
Yep.
And most of the time they're fine. We generally try to tell everybody carry the box from beneath.
Right.
Just don't trust the box to not rip, not give away. What if you do happen to get home, you're working on a project, you flip the paint over on your carpet, latex paint on your carpet. There's an absolute freak out that happens. But if you move fast, really you can do a really good job cleaning this up. It's water-based paint. As long as it stays wet, you've got a really good chance to get it up. You just need to make sure, and you're going to want to have this ahead of time. This is not something you're going to have time to run out and get. But really, a couple of putty knives, like joint knives for drywall,
like the
wide blade, 10-inch blades.
Yep.
I like to have one of those and then a really good disposable type dustpan.
Yeah.
So I can scoop with the dustpan, because what you're trying to do is scoop up as much of that paint as you possibly can off of that surface.
Yes, you're not just rubbing this around with towels till it comes up.
No. Scoop as much of it off as you can right off the bat. Dump it into a box lined with plastic. Get a garbage bag, line your box, and then just start dumping as much paint as you can, or back into the can, whatever you need to do. Once you've got the bulk of it off, now you need to introduce water to that floor, and not get the hose out.
Right.
But some water. You need some significant water, but at the same time, you need to be vacuuming it up with a shop vac. It's got to be a wet dry vac. That's really important.
That's very important.
And you've got to have
the filter out.
Filter out.
Yeah.
Right. Vacuum it up and just keep putting that water on and keep vacuuming it up. And in most situations, most spills, unless it's really, really horrific, I've gotten most of that paint out. If you let it dry, there's not much you can do at that point.
Right, exactly.
Then it's going to be replace the carpet. And hope that insurance is going to cover that, right?
Right.
But it can be done. The big thing is to have that the shop vac on hand and make sure that you've got the putty knife and the dustpan just in case. You would never think of those as paint tools.
Nope.
Absolutely critical. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll be talking about the jobs that we tackled or didn't tackle this summer.
Yeah.
And we're going to kind of walk ourselves off the ledge of depression.
Exactly.
Feel a little better. And then we'll talk about toilet paper.
Can't wait.
That's all coming up. Stay tuned.